So, were you a comic book fan growing up?
Well, I read Superman, I read Lobo, I read Spawn, but I hadn't for a while, and now I'm back into them a little bit, which, plus I got to meet Jeff Johns, who runs DC, and just seeing the passion, and my brother-in-law, to be, is a massive comic book fan, so.
Oh, he must be thrilled.
He is. I think he's more excited than I am.
Arrow's a great hero, and very different from a lot of other superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
You get to play a wide range of emotions. It's not just the stalwart stand-up guy. This guy's got issues.
Yeah.
Was that part of the attraction for the role for you?
Well, I couldn't look past the pilot, but just going forward, and in the pilot I played 4 different characters.
Yeah.
And the Oliver pre-Island, a jerk.
Yeah. Which he's still pretending to be in superhero
fashion. So I have to be the Oliver. I am back now, pretending to be a jerk. So slightly more virtuous, slightly more hardened, but still a little bit jerkish.
Yeah.
And then there's the real Oliver, which is essentially the same character as Arrow.
Yeah.
Not essentially. They're the same person.
Yeah.
You could argue that the alter ego in the show is sort of the contemporary Oliver when he's pretending to be something that he's not.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting. And then going forward, getting to play that transformation from how Oliver arrives at the island to how he is when he's rescued. I mean, that's a big shift.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun.
Yeah. The emotional rigors notwithstanding, the physical toll. So in the first place, and watching you in the pilot, and watching Jeremy Renner in The Avengers, it's really hard to look competent with a bow and arrow unless you know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, you gotta get good.
And you both were really slick with the. I mean, was that a long training process for you?
Yeah, I did about 3-4 weeks of intensive training, almost every day. The point was not to hit your target at the beginning. You don't even. The one thing that they can't seem to teach you with archery is how to aim, because the way that everybody aims is different. There's a way that you draw the bow. There's a way that you hold the bow. There's a way that you hold the arrows and knock the arrows. That's regimented.
Yeah.
But the way everybody aims is different.
Yeah. But you don't have to hit anything. You just got to look really cool, pulling that thing out of the quiver and notching it and letting it loose.
Exactly right. And then the knocking it takes. That takes a minute too. That takes a minute to learn. But it's you gotta look good.
Yeah.
Archery, as intense as comic book fans are, archery fans are as intense.
Sure. Yeah. Any accidentally injure any of the crew yet?
No, God no. Although we did talk about, you're never gonna. Occasionally, I'm gonna have to, draw an arrow and aim it at somebody.
Yeah.
And we did talk about going forward, kind of coming up with a fail-safe, because I mean, even if you're dealing with rubber-tipped arrows, there can't be a more dangerous thing on a set. I mean, you put blank bullets in a gun, and that's fine, but you can't.
And even that's dangerous because those things fly out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even a rubber-tipped arrow.
Yeah. You'd have to have a Nerf arrow, really.
Yeah, exactly, which is going to look like a Nerf arrow. So you can't do that.
The other thing we got to talk about physicality is your body, man. It's terrifying. I mean, it's not just a 6-pack you have; it's a 24 case. You are in phenomenal shape.
Thank you.
Was that the one thing that blew my mind is those lifting up chin up things.
It's called the salmon ladder.
Oh my God! And you were really doing that.
Yeah.
Holy cow. What was your training regimen like? Did you have to get into better shape for this?
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed in shape, but I didn't have an end goal, so I wasn't really pushing towards anything. So I changed my diet. I went gluten and dairy free, and then we did a bunch of parkour. I did get into weight training, and the body, I understand. People joke about it sometimes. They're like, it took like 6 minutes for you to be shirtless in this show, and that's true, and it is television, but at the same time. Second act of the pilot, I murder somebody with my bare hands.
That was something that really struck me, to protect his identity.
But you have to be able to buy that I can do that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So you know, I don't have the benefit of superpowers.
Right.
So I have to be a hardened individual, and you have to buy the fact that, you know, dealing with trained criminals, fighters, legitimate people, that I can handle my own.
Yeah. That killing it's a jarring moment, because, you know, that's when you realize this ain't Smallville. This is a whole other level of superheroing,
and one isn't better than the other. It's just
No.
it's, you know, people have asked me, because Green Arrow obviously was one of the most popular characters in Smallville, but they're just not, in name you can compare them,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it.
yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Is it fun? I mean, it's a lot of work. You've only done the pilot at this point. Or
Only
you
done the
shot
pilot.
Yeah. So was it fun, or was it just?
Oh God, every second of it is fun.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's the dream. It's, you know, give me hard work is easy. You know, being bored, that's the tough part. So it's like, just line it up and let's do it.
Yeah, and you're like in every scene as 4 different guys. I mean, there's a lot of work.
Yeah, there was one day where we had 3 scenes, and it was 3 like distinctly different characters. Normally they all sort of ran together and they were all sort of plotted out, but for whatever reason this particular day, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love it. I'm really excited. Once we got picked up, I started to get anxious to get back to work.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. As gritty and as hard hitting as it is, it's a lot of fun to go on that ride with him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how. You've got a great supporting cast of characters.
Oh
too.
yeah. And I think that one of the good things about the pilot is, you know, we introduce all these people, but then we just, you know, no pun intended, if you've seen the trailer, we just toss a bunch of balls in the air,
Yeah.
right? And they're up there right now. Like, I thought that we had done a good job when, you know, my biggest emotion coming out of shooting the pilot was not, I want this show to get picked up for, you know, financial reasons or stability or, you know, ego. I wanted to read the second episode.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part.
Particularly, and we won't spoil it for people who haven't seen the pilot yet, but particularly given that last scene,
Yeah.
there's some serious stuff to be resolved in the second episode.
Oh yeah. and you know, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it, man. You do a great job, and it's a great
good.
show.
Thank
you for doing this.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Okay.